What's good, everybody on YouTube? I know I haven't recorded in a while. It's been a long while. But, normally I talk small talk, and I think everybody's had enough small talk. I think it's time to, talk about things that matter. Um, Today we're gonna focus on looking back. For those of you who don't know my story, September 12th of this year was the 1 year anniversary of my husband walking out on me. For those of you who don't know, we were married for 7 years. And I thought it was a good marriage. I thought we were okay. The night before he walked out, he confesses that he's been cheating on me with my so-called best friend for 2 months. And when he first told me that, I was freaking out because I couldn't understand. We were happy. Things were good. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, this just came out of the blue. All because I said I wanted to spend 7 more years with him. Mind you, September 12th is exactly a month and 11 days past our anniversary. Our 7th year anniversary. So, yeah, I was kind of in shock about the whole thing. And, so September 12th of this year marked the 1 year anniversary of that. Now, when that first happened, to me, I was devastated. I was heartbroken. I was shattered. And when you're going through something like that, at that moment when you're in that pain, you always think, how am I supposed to get past this? How will I ever get past this? And, it's hard. It's hard when you're in that to see that things are going to be okay. And that's when I started drinking more heavily, and that's when my alcoholism really kicked in. And it took me a few months before I could even stop crying. Like, I would cry myself to sleep. I would cry myself awake when I woke up in the morning. I would cry throughout the day. And I really tore myself down because I couldn't understand, things were good. Like, what caused this? And, in that moment, I thought it had to be me. It had to be me. I done something wrong to deserve this. And that was totally not the case. But it took me several months of, just beating myself up, tearing myself down, tearing me apart, and trying to put my pieces back together to figure out that it wasn't me, it was him. Okay, so that was a year ago. In December of last year, I was reconnected with a guy I went to high school with. And, I used to have a crush on him in high school. And, he was one of the cool kids. He had a mohawk. He had green hair. He was dangerous, He was a mysterious kind. And so, we were reconnected. And, we became friends. Started hanging out. And very quickly, very suddenly, we fell for each other. There were sparks. There was chemistry. And he's the complete opposite of what my ex was. My ex wouldn't let me get a job because he was afraid I was going to cheat on him. Funny, right? When I'm sick, he actually takes care of me. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. He takes care of me. He supports me. My ex, when I was sick, I still had to clean, still had to cook, still had to take care of the house. I was still required to participate in sex even when I was sick and not feeling well. No, not with this one. If I'm sick, I'm resting. And he does for me. In October of last year, I started a job with an in-home healthcare agency, in which this month is my 1-year anniversary at that job. And not one single time have I went out and slept with anybody other than the one I'm with. And I've had several different clients, some out of town, some in town. Not once have I slept with anybody. He trusts me. I did have a job at one point when I was with my ex. And when I came in from work, I was expected to cook, clean, still participate in sex, even though I was dead on my feet tired. And I worked at an in-home care facility where I went into people's homes and actually had to work like day shift, taking care of the mentally challenged and the mentally impaired. Hard work. And that's not the case with this one. When I'm at work, when I come home, he does dishes. He cleans. He makes sure that I have as little to do as possible when I come in this door. That door. When I come in that door, I have very few things that I still have to attend to. Yesterday, I was in bed sick. My anxiety was up. I thought my heart was going to explode, come out of my chest. He made sure I took my medication. He covered me up, tucked me in, gave me a kiss, told me he loved me, turned out the light to let me have some cool down time. I went to sleep because I was sick. My anxiety actually makes me physically sick when it gets that high. He knows this, so he lets me sleep. He doesn't get mad when I need to take a nap. X did that. X, always mad because I got tired. Couldn't understand that depression and anxiety makes you tired. Wouldn't let me get help for it either. Because, once again, I would cheat on him on my way to the doctor. Not this one. This one encouraged me to go get help for my mental health. For 7 months now, I have been on medication. I've done a complete 180. My depression, and depression and anxiety, there's no magical cure that's going to make it all better. You can be on 20 pills, that's not going to make it all better. Having somebody that supports you when you're in an emotional crisis, that's where it's at. When I'm feeling anxious, this one will assure me that everything's going to be okay. He don't make me promises. He doesn't say, I promise it's going to be okay. He said, I'm sure it's going to be okay. And if it's not, we will find a way for you to be okay through it. He loves my animals. He knows they're like my children. And he adores them. And they adore him. And all my animals I had when I was with my ex. And none of them ever took to him like they did this one. He respects my family, even though my family are assholes to him. My aunt's the only one that seems to be like she's trying a little bit with him. That's because she lives with us, and she's also somebody that I take care of. So yeah, looking back at where I was like a year ago, My ex walked out on me. I had no job. He left me with almost $2,000 worth of debt. I was hopeless. I thought it was lost. I thought I was at a point where I didn't think there was any coming back from. How do you move past that? Here I am a year later, being treated better than I ever was while I was married. I'm happier than I ever was. I have respect. I have love. And it's unconditional. He loves me when I'm in a bad mood. He loves me when I'm in a good mood. He loves me when I'm sad. He loves me when I'm happy. He loves me when I'm confused, which is a lot because I suffer from mental health issues. So if you're going through that sort of heartbreak, where you feel like you're not good enough and you feel like you won't make it, I assure you, you will. Don't tear yourself up like I did. I'm not saying that's therapeutic. But examine yourself, your true self. Look inside deeper than anybody else can possibly look. Because you know you better than anybody else can. I promise you, things will get better. You can move past that pain. I assure you, you can move past that pain. And the reward is going to be amazing. Because when you move past that and you realize, hey, I've made it. I'm up here now. I started out down here. Now I'm up here. Once you get to up here, you will realize that it took being down here to get up here. It's a long process. It's hard. There's going to be a lot of tears. There's going to be a lot of self-loathing. There's going to be a lot of doubt. But in the end, you are going to come out on top. And that person that put you through that pain, their loss, not yours. And what they threw away, somebody else is going to see as a freaking treasure, hun. Whether it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend, husband or a wife, or maybe it's an abusive parent, or maybe it's just somebody that meant something to you, whether it's a friend, family, whatever. They've hurt you, and they have pushed you to that point where you get down here and you feel like you have nothing left. When you get to up here, it's going to drive them insane. My ex stalks me. He's constantly asking everybody if they know how to get a hold of me or if they know what I'm doing. He's constantly trying to figure out what I'm doing. He has no clue. And it drives him insane. I love every one of you. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Select all. And you will get updated as soon as I post the video. Bye.